Hello, in today's podcast, I want to talk about using the violet flame. This is an energetic practice that many people have done over the centuries, I believe, and I'll just give you the short version of how to do it. The idea of the violet flame is that you run it through your aura, and by doing that, you cleanse the aura. It picks up debris and it actually burns off any extra energy that you might want to burn off. It has quite a religious and spiritual nature to it because violet flame and the colour violet is to do with the third eye. And this particular colour is used for meditation and also for clearing. So when you're doing this, you'll also be tapping into the religious or your spiritual understanding of things. So the first thing to understand is that you will have to use your imagination to do this, and the energy will follow your thought. And this is the way I do it. So sit quietly, and I imagine that like the top of my head, like perhaps 30 centimetres or a foot, and you imagine now the violet light, the flame, like it's a flame, and it's burning through, and you burn it down through your aura. And I always, of course, go to the edges. So you're burning it right through and imagining it burning through your aura. And as it burns through, it's picking up and clearing any debris. And then you burn it through your torso and down your legs, knees, ankles, and to your feet. And then I burn further away from my feet, another 30 centimetres to a foot. And then I come back. I bring another lot of violet light and I bring it up and I burn it up through my feet, through my ankles and knees, thighs, through my torso, my throat, and right through and over past my head again. Now, you can use the violet light many times. You can do one violet burn, putting the flame through, or you can do several. Do what you feel is instinctive for you. Often I do it 3 or 4 times. If you feel you want to do it more or less on different occasions, just do it. It's a very spiritual connection because the violet connects us with spirit. And that's why that colour is so interesting, because that's the colour that will connect us to spirit, and to the violet flame will connect us to spirit. So spiritually, it's also going to enhance you. So when you keep doing this practice over and over again, not only are you clearing out your aura and clearing all the debris and burning off any sometimes bad karma. I think you can burn off bad karma through your aura, and you can burn off negative and toxic emotions and terrible memories you might have that you've held on to, or grudges, anything that's not going to be a positive thing in your aura, which brings us to negativity. You can burn through the negativity as you go down with the violet flame. But when you're doing that, because of the violet flame is such a spiritual colour, and because it's connected into, I feel, the universal colour, when you're doing this particular thing, your third eye will be enhanced. It will get bigger because the third eye is the purple colour, and they say the crown chakra is like white, maybe a little bit of violet colour in it. So whenever you do that, your connection now to spirit will be stronger. I found it a very powerful and metaphysical and spiritual practice to do. You can do it as many times as you like and whenever you like. You can also burn the violet flame through other people. So you just do a prayer and then you burn the flame down and you burn the flame up, and they will take the healing or not. You are sending it, and you're sending it with love, but they allow it or don't allow it. But when people are going through a really, really difficult time and are very confused and messy and really at their lowest, burning through with the violet and burning up will connect them to their soul, because the violet flame and the soul are like connected. So when you do this, it actually helps with the soul. And that's the last thing I wanted to say today, is that we often have a lot of soul damage, that we damage the body and the mind, of course, through this life of ours and what happens to us. But the soul can also get damaged, and some of us have actually come in with damage from other lives that is sitting in the soul. I firmly believe that when you burn through the violet flame, you're burning out anything that the soul doesn't need anymore, that's not necessary. And then you keep doing that, you can actually do one where you actually visualize that you're burning through the soul with the violet light. And then if you want to, at the end, you can put white light through, green light for healing if you want to, and then lots of pink light for love. This practice is not understood by a lot of people and not used by a lot of people, but it's very powerful. And the more you do it, the more you cleanse, and particularly the more you clear your aura and heal the damage in your soul, because some of us have got really quite severe damage in our soul. It's going to work on that level that we don't normally work on, the soul level. And that will help too, because we can clear out some past life soul damage that we brought in, and then present day. And then when we go into our next life, the soul will be actually cleaner, and the soul will actually be clearer, and it will also be vibrating at a higher rate. So it's a very important one to do from a spiritual practice point of view. This is a good practice to do when you meditate as well. If you're meditating, you can maybe find a place either at the beginning of your meditation or maybe at the end of your meditation where you do this particular practice. We never know when we're doing this work what we're really doing. We have an idea about it. But I get a really strong feeling about the violet flame, that it is actually a tool that's been passed down to us and used by many metaphysical and spiritual people through the ages, and that now is a time when many of us are coming into this world, and many of us came from Atlantis and Lemuria, and so we're people who already are used to these practices, and when we don't do them, it's kind of like a part of our life is missing, and then when we start doing them, it's like we found ourselves again, because that's the whole thing about our spiritual life, that when we start coming back to our spiritual life, it's like coming home. It really is like coming home. That's what I felt like after I finished teaching and then I started doing this work. I felt that even though I loved teaching and I knew it was my calling, I actually now felt on a sort of deep level, spiritual level, an energetic level, that now I had come home. And the more spiritual practices we do, the more we'll feel that we've come home. Practice this one. Let me know how you go with it. I'm on YouTube under Spiritual and Energy Work with Wendy and on Facebook. So if you want to message me. And don't expect it to change everything straight away. It's going to take time. And if you have a lot of damage in the aura, particularly the soul, you're going to have to do a few cleans. It's sort of like, washing that pot that you have to really go in many times to clean it completely. But it can only serve you well. And the vibration of violet flame is very high. And I don't know, when I see it, I always see the violet flame burning in the heart of those who are spiritual, our ascended guardians and our God. I always see it like that as well. You can do this practice whenever you want, whenever you need to. If you forget to do it for a while and then you get nudged and you start doing it, don't worry that you haven't done it. We're always doing this work intuitively, but practice it and do it. And I think you're going to find that you're going to ascend and your vibration of your aura will be greater. And it's a great way to clear the aura. I'll leave that with you, and I'm sending you lots of love and lots of light.